away slightly and talk about next week's game. Let's we have to, I'm afraid. So last game of the season against Leeds. I kind of want to go around everyone again, get everyone's thoughts on
we're getting smashed.
Yeah, how you think we might get on. So Dave, we'll kind of come to you first. Are you bothered anymore about what happens? Because if you're anything like me, you've kind of lost all interest. Unfortunately, I live in Scotland, so it's a real struggle for me to get down to the stadium, but on a weekly basis. But I've lost all I'll still switch the game on, but I'm really not that bothered about what happens, because at the end of the day, the season is done. Where we finish in the table is irrelevant, whether it's 8th, 9th, 7th, 10th, 11th, wherever that may be is all really irrelevant. But what are you in that same mentality now?
I just could give a shit. Like I said to you, I checked out weeks ago, mate. I'm like that, when you're in a long-term relationship and you just kind of lose interest in that relationship and you're just going through the motions. That's basically me with Tottenham at the moment. I just don't care. I'm bored of it. I'm tired of having the same conversations every single week about the same players and the same situations. And the reality of it is, I'm 35 years old, and this has been going on for nearly for 20 years. So I'm just at a point now where I'll probably watch the Leeds game, and it'll probably be another high-scoring game, like a 4-3 or something like that. Leeds is fighting; they got something to fight for. You could tell by our performance yesterday. We were already on the beach,
and they mathematically have to win if they want any chance. They have to win, and Everton have to lose to Bournemouth if they want any chance of staying out.
Exactly, they got something to fight for. So I've checked out. I'm not really bothered. I think we'll probably lose. And I'm desperate for this season to be over and done with, to be honest, so we can start all this whole new cycle in the summer. Before hope kills us again in November.
Yeah, fair enough. Harry, do you think that they should continue with the same formation that we played against Brentford? Do you think that under Ryan Mason, I don't know if you watched back last week, Harry, because I know you weren't on, but I did discuss.
I did.
Would Ryan Mason go back to a 4 at the back, which he was renowned for, when he was in the interim job before? Do you think he sticks with that, or do you think this has opened his eyes to the fact that maybe he has to go back because there isn't enough time to kind of rejig the whole thing? Or again, do you not think it really matters?
Well, if he's going to open his eyes, then what's taking him so long? What took him so long against Villa? What took him so long yesterday? If he is going to open his eyes, then the way I look at it, and I looked at it with the Brentford game, although we had to win, kind of what we wanted in terms of being in what Levy wanted, should I say, being in the Champions League, it was over. So we might as well try something different. I personally yesterday would have liked to see the likes of Devine, Danjuma. We did see yes. So Leeds, there's nothing to play for bar 7th. And I think being out of Europe will get that reaction. Because if we finish 7th, Levy will go, terrible season, lots of different managers, but at least you still got European football. We a couple of signings away and we'll be back in that top 4. Seriously, that's the way he'll look at it. Whereas if we finish 8th, it's a completely different story. We've not only have we dropped out, not only are we not in the Champions League, we're not in the Europa League, we're not in the Conference League, there's no European football at all. For me, that's the way I think it will be. We have nothing to lose, really. I'm not really interested. Do you want me to give my score prediction now? Or are we waiting?
We'll wait, and then we'll go back through that.
Wait, okay.
I like your
one thing I will
say.
I'll drop a little hint. We're going to be absolutely smashed. Fair play to Leeds, because I actually do want them to stay up. So if it means they have, but I'm at this point where if we're going to lose, which I never want, but if we're going to lose, I want us to be absolutely smashed rather than lose 1 or 2-0, because it has that impact on Levy and Enoch, and it puts more pressure on Levy. That's the way I look at it. If you say to me, would you rather lose 1-0 at the moment, or lose or get annihilated like we did first half at Anfield, or the whole game St James's Park, I would definitely say annihilated. At the moment, we don't stand a chance, do we? But at the end of the day, I'm not the manager. Ryan Mason somehow is. Open his eyes and perhaps give the youth academies some minutes.
Perfect. Just so that tee everybody up, after we get get around this, we will be going through the score predictions. So get them in the chat to make sure that your score prediction is read out. Brian, are you on the emphasis now where you would rather see Spurs lose to, say, quote what Harry said, put pressure on the board, or to not enter into a European competition, which would put financial pressure on the board? Or do you still want Spurs to try and see this season out with something?
All I have to say, Harry, is it's so good to see the younger generation talking like this. It is like brilliant to see that there's people younger that are seeing this.
Yeah, Levy doesn't listen to us. Levy should be worrying about the younger generation, the ones who are going to spend the money in the future. The one who are going to have the say of the future next 15, 20 years. But
yeah, no. What I will say, and Billy will know because I've said this in our Levy Out group chat. I walked out at half time in the North London derby in January. And I said a message then where I said, I don't care who the manager is. I don't care who the starting lineup is. Passage of play, style of play, results. I don't care how high the skywalk is, how fast the go track is. I don't care who the scouting network is. I don't care who the direct. Nothing matters because nothing changes until this man goes. I don't care. I seriously don't care. What you got to remember is with Nike, who are our kit sponsors and one of the worst kit sponsors we've had, they have certain targets and expectations for Spurs to do. But the payments we get from Nike will be just like we have performance-related bonuses. They have it. So do sponsorships as well. Corporate, you got to think these corporate boxes right now, they don't care. They're not Spurs fans. They just take the box because it's a nice, shiny new stadium and wine and dine clients. The financial implications are coming. I've said before, I'm calling it tough love. I want everything to implode. I don't care how it happens or what it is. If it happens, it happens. I actually think, in all honesty, the reason I think we're going to lose on next Sunday is, as Billy will know, I don't know if any of you others, I certainly have. I've been to Ellen Road before. Billy would have been there many, many, many a time.
Rocking that. It'd be absolutely rocking.
Actually, that's wrong, Brian. I've only been there once.
Oh, have you? Bloody hell, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they've been down for 16 years, haven't they? So, yeah. If you ever want to go to a stadium that will go absolutely nuts and make it as hostile, toxic, and just impossible.
Our players can't cope with that.
Look no further than Ellen Road. With them fighting for their Premiership lives, that place is going to be a crescendo and a wall of noise. And our Spurs players go, oh, I can't hear the people. It's too noisy. They're hurting my eardrums. And fall apart and crash and burn like they always do. So I honestly think the way that Ellen Road is going to be rocking, our players ain't going to handle it. I think we lose.
They couldn't handle it at Anfield. They couldn't handle it at St James's Park. So they're not going to handle it.
Quick yes or no. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
To answer that question, no. Do you want us to lose for that reason?
No, listen, I don't care. I'm not going to come out and say I want us to lose, but I don't care if we do. I don't care if we win.
Yeah, fair enough. Billy, do you echo that?
No, I want us to win. I'll be up there. I can't ever go into a ground wanting us to lose. I said I wanted us to lose when we were the Wolves. The minute I got into the stadium, I realised I couldn't do it. It was like, and my mate turned around and said, saying out, and he went, but you came in saying you wanted us to lose. I went, oh, well, I talk out my fucking arse, don't I? I said, I can't physically want us to lose. And the reason I said it at the time, it was because Daniel Levy had come out with that statement to the trust. It's not only the fans who don't respect. I don't think the trust get respected. But his statement to the trust was, we should be grateful he's given us European football for 15 years in a row. That's our benchmark. But we pay the highest season ticket prices in Europe at the time. I think someone's put theirs up now, so we're second highest. But that infuriated me so much the way he spoke about us fans. He talked about us like we were a piece of gum or something on the bottom of his feet. We're beneath him. It made me feel like I wanted us to lose, but then as soon as I got in the ground, the Spurs in me come out. I wanted us to win. So I don't think we'll qualify for Europe anyway. So I hope we win. Villa will win and they'll get 7th spot anyway.
Okay, so we'll go back round the group now. So with our score predictions, because we always like to have a little tally on Twitter. So Billy, what's your score prediction for the Leeds game?
3-2 Spurs.
3-2 Spurs. Brian?
3-1 Leeds.
3-1 Leeds. Harry?
4-1 Leeds.
4-1 Leeds. Dave?
I think it's going to be like a 4-3, 4-all. Either 4-3 Leeds or a 4-all draw. No, in Tottenham.
I can't see us.
Yeah, I can't see us winning either. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. So that
I am deluded, but I picked Tottenham scores. I must admit.
No, do you know what? I would say, Billy, 90% of the time, I am the one that says that we'll win, and then we don't. So
Luke's Mr. Positive on this channel.
Yeah.
I've never seen you predict us lose, Luke.
No,
Never.
I'd never do that. I couldn't do it. I'm a bit like Billy. Like, I don't think I could ever like actively. And people. What I like.
I never want us to lose, but I can sit here and be honest. It's like I can be honest, like with West Ham right now, or with Arsenal, for example. I love taking the mickey out of them. Billy, I love that tweet you put out earlier. But with me, at the same time, I'd love to have the season they've had. They're absolutely flying. 12 months ago, we're ahead of them. That's what happens when you have owners and a chairman that cares about the football club.
Right.
Exactly.
That kind of wraps us up for today. So what I want to do is just thank our guests so very, very much for coming on. Everybody in the chat for coming on and giving their thoughts as well. Thank you so much for all your comments, and make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel, because we could do with a few more subscribers, to be honest. When we hit 700 subscribers, which hopefully we'll hit soon because they go up and down every bloody day, we will be doing a competition on our Twitter page. So make sure you check out that as well. But Billy, we'll start with you. Can you tell everyone how they can find you? And thank you so much for coming on.
I've only got Twitter, so I'm at Billy the Youth 70. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, that's the only way, really.
Perfect. And Brian?
Yeah, they can find me on my channel that I have with my mates, Tottenham on Tour, or they find me regularly on We Are Tottenham TV. And if anyone wants to tweet me, it's just Bridagul, BRIDAGUL.
Perfect.
Can I just ask, sorry, really quickly, Brian and Billy, what you've got planned coming up?
So
I'm out for the summer.
Billy's taking his sabbatical and having a good old summer. Listen, what I've said it before.
Unless something major comes up, that is.
Yeah, if something major comes up, Billy's there. We what I will say is there are plans. There are plans for the summer. There will be things happening, but they're not finalised yet. And one of the things we will be doing is not mentioning it weeks and weeks and weeks in advance, so the club gets to find out and know what we're about to do. But if Daniel Levy thinks, "Oh, that's it, summer can begin," the final home game's gone, forget it. Things will be happening.
Love it.
Good stuff.
Perfect. And Harry, I know you got your show tomorrow night on your channel, so let everybody know how they can find you on there, mate.
Thank you very much for having me on once again. You got my Twitter handle there, HarryScarf22. If you contact with me, tag me, regardless, whatever. There actually is no show tomorrow, 8 p.m. for I think for the first time. That is because I've been kindly invited to go on BBC Essex at 8 p.m. But the final show of the season, will be back on the Monday, the 29th of May, which I believe is a bank holiday, usual time, 8 p.m. Go check out my channel, Scarfy Special. Recently smashed that 700 subscriber target, which here at Park Lane Podcast we're so close to doing. And like you said, Luke, the competition when we get there. So that was good to hit. The content, going very, very well. I was on A View from the South Stand yesterday. I think I'm on a couple of shows this week. But I'm sure you can find some kind of content on mine over the next few days, because win, lose, or draw, content will be out there. And unlike summer Arsenal, I will not hide after we lose a game. But that's a completely other subject. But thank you for having me on once again. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we are very, very close here to 700 subs. Very close.
Yeah,
cheers, by the way, I'll probably end up on Tottenham Hall tomorrow for Kearns.
Yeah, been on there. It's decent.
They normally invite me in on about 8:30 for the last half hour. So I go on there. So I just want to give them a shout out, if you don't mind.
No, of course.
Look,
We,
finish
you know,
getting the
you can-
YouTube plug.
exactly throw everybody's channel out there.
me personally, I don't have a YouTube channel, but I'm willing to shout out for anyone's.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Love
And
it.
Harry, always a pleasure to have you on, mate. You know, you've been brilliant since you've been coming on this channel, so we really do appreciate you. Dave, how can everyone find you, buddy?
Most Sundays arguing with Harry about Højbjerg.
Dave hasn't won one yet, but you get there.
I like to let Harry think he's won them all because of his tender age, but you know that's the way it is now. But you can find me on this channel. We are so close to 700. Get us over the line. You know, we're a good bunch of lads who just like to talk about Tottenham.
I actually didn't realise I weren't subscribed to you. I did subscribe to you earlier.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm not being funny. I am a technophobe to hell, as Brian will tell you.
Yeah.
You sent me a link to say,
I'm at Park Lane Pod Dave or on the Park Lane Pod Twitter page. You know, you'll find me here. I am actually on view from the South Stand next week for the last game of the season. So yeah, you'll see me floating about most
I see you there, Dave. I'm pretty much on every week at the moment.
Amazing. So yeah, I want to thank, as I said, all the guests, everybody in the chat, and everybody that's come on, all the channels that have been mentioned. You know, make sure you go over and subscribe to all of them. You know, this channel has taken a bit of a hit recently. We rebranded from previous channel that I started with a Liverpool and an Arsenal fan that we originated from. So you know, your support since we've turned it into solely a Spurs channel will really appreciate it. So if you're listening on any podcast platform, don't forget to hit the follow button and leave a 5-star review. And if you're new to YouTube and everything else, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. But until next time, we'll see you next Sunday.
Like me, learn to subscribe.
Exactly. We'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. on Park Lane Podcast.
Leave you out.
Yes,
Absolutely.
see you later.
Always, Brian.